guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to convert an Epson WF-7710 workforce printer into a sublimation printer. Here's my printer. I started by putting the regular ink into the printer. So if you open up this top part, open up this compartment, you can put your inks into these places. Then you're going to close this top scanner piece, and then you're going to go to your screen. Now, thank goodness it's touchscreen, so amazing. You're going to go over to settings. You're going to go to maintenance, and then you're going to go to print head nozzle check. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it again. But the reason that you want to do that is to make sure that your printer itself works before we do the ink change. That way, if something is wrong with the printer itself, you'll know that it's from the printer itself and not from the inks that you put in. So now I'm going to show you what to do next. All right, so now that you've printed, your paper should look something like this. That just means that it's printed correctly. There should be there should be a picture side by side on the site that kind of shows how it shouldn't look and how it should look. It should look all straight and even, and if it is, hit that circle button and then move on to the next step. So the next step, we're gonna go ahead with our ink. We're gonna get ready to put our ink together. I purchased my ink off of Amazon, and I'll provide the link and everything down below. So I purchased my ink off of Amazon, and I believe the company is called inkxpro.com. You can order directly off their website, but just myself, I ordered off Amazon. I think it was like $70 roundabout. So this particular company, you get 4 bottles of ink. They give you syringes, and then they give you 4 refillable cartridges for your inks, which is awesome because you don't want to have to worry about having to spend more money to purchase more items. And then it comes with instructions as well to tell you how to put the inks together. So what I am going to do is I am going to fill my inks, and then I'll be back. All right, so with your ink cartridges, if you take a look at them, you can see that there's 2 different holes on each, top and the bottom, and then the top and the bottom. This top one right here, these are going to be the holes that you fill. So it'll be this top one here on the black one, and then these bottom holes, don't leave those closed for now at least. And those are the air holes, like the air intake holes. So we're not going to worry about those. We're just going to worry about the top ones. So we're going to take the tops off of that, and then we're going to fill our ink. Okay, so we are filling our inks. So we're going to do our magenta. I've already taken all the plugs out of the ink cartridges. Again, you want to do, it's going to be the one that's closest to the little chip reader. That's the one that you're going to take off. I leave the air plug in until until it's fully filled, and then we'll remove the air plug. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up my cartridges, and then I'll be back with you. So when you're putting the ink into your cartridges, you want to make sure that you're putting the needle into the fill hole on a diagonal as you're filling it. You also want to make sure that you're inserting the ink at a slow pace. If you insert it too fast, it's going to end up spilling out. So just make sure that you're inserting it slowly and at a diagonal angle. All right, so now that our inks are filled 100%, I'll put the lids back on all of my ink bottles. Take out your earplugs if you haven't already. I did it after each step. I took out the earplugs, so once I filled it, I put the fill cap back on, and then I took out the air, shook it about 4 to 5 times, and they are ready to go. Make sure that after every use you clean out your syringe because they are reusable, so you just want to use just some warm water and run it through until it clears, and you can reuse it again. So now we're gonna go back over to our printer. I wanna follow the same steps in the maintenance, so we're gonna hit maintenance button and get ready to install our cartridges. We are back at the printer. We're gonna follow the same steps. We're gonna go over to settings and maintenance. We are gonna hit ink cartridge replacement because now we're gonna replace them. Just gonna hit start. Lift your scanner unit, your top piece unit. Let it do its little reset thing. It's ready for us. So we are going to open that up. We're going to take out each of the cartridges. Now remember, once you convert your printer into a sublimation printer, you cannot change it back to an inkjet printer. Right, so I'm gonna start with our black. I'm gonna put it in. You wanna line it up, of course, just like you did with the other ones. But when you put it in, you wanna make sure you hear click. And this one's a little tricky. Okay. All right, so now our ink is installed. Again, make sure that you push it down. If you don't push it down all the way, you're gonna get an error on your printer. Once you go to close it and it starts reading it, you're gonna get an error. So make sure you push it down. Don't be scared. Push that front down and you'll hear a really loud click noise, and that's how you know your ink is installed. And then again, don't forget to take out your earplugs before you start your printer. So we're gonna close that, and we're gonna close that top. It's gonna do its little ink. All right, so now that the ink is done being processed through the machine, we're gonna do a print head nozzle check, just like we did at the beginning of the video. Make sure you have paper in your printer. Now, because my printer is brand new, it's gonna run clear, of course, because I didn't run the regular ink through it barely at all, but to do a print head nozzle check initially, just to make sure that my printer worked. So it's gonna look like this. I've already ran it like 3 times and it came out like that consistently. So I'm going to assume that the sublimation ink is good to go. So I'm gonna hit that. If in the case that you had this printer previously, or you had a different type of printer and you are just now converting it, yours is not going to come out clear like that. Yours is going to come out, well, it's going to come out clear at first, and then it's going to get a little spotty. You want that to happen. So let's say you've been using this printer for a couple months as an inkjet, and then you decide to convert it over to a sublimation printer. You're gonna have that regular ink still in there, so you're gonna have to run probably several print head nozzle checks before you get that speckled looking. So instead of it looking clear like this, it may have just a bunch of dots everywhere. And then that's how you'll know that your sub ink, that your regular ink is finally gone and that your sub ink is coming through. And that's what you want. So now that our ink is set up, I'm going to load mine with some of my sublimation paper that I have, and we're going to test it out. Okay, so my image is printed out. The image I'm going to go with, try it out, see if it works. I did forget to mirror my image, so do not forget to mirror your image. However, it kind of works out in this case because no matter which way it's facing, it still looks okay. I'm going to put it face down, of course. And I have some heat tape. Got 2 rolls of it off Amazon. Again, I'll supply the link down below. Just gonna tape it down. Put a couple pieces. Now you just wanna, the purpose of the tape is kind of just to secure it, to make sure that it doesn't move when you are applying your heat. And make sure that it's heat resistant. Otherwise, it could be a problem. Okay. So I've already preheated my, I have an easy press, but I've already preheated to, from what I've read, 375 for 18 seconds. You want to warm your surface first for a little bit, for like 5 seconds, and then press. So let's see how it goes. One thing that I forgot to do was put my Teflon on top of my image. So make sure you put a piece of Teflon or parchment paper on top of your image before you press. I'm gonna let that cool off a little bit. It's a little smoky. I'm so anxious, y'all. I'm so anxious. I'm so anxious. Let's see. Look at this. The end result. This is amazing. This is my practice shirt, so don't pay attention to the line and stuff, but this is awesome. Look at how beautiful that is. Absolutely beautiful. It turned out better than I thought it would. So don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share. Again, everything that I used and purchased today will be down below in the description boxes. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask, and tune in next time.